Okay. So we're checking out something a little bit new today. This is literally my first look at this. Kind of excited about that. I think it was available to me yesterday, but I didn't understand that. I thought it was available today, but that's fine. We're going to check it out a little bit later than I would have liked to have been checking out otherwise. We're going to see what Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire is about. I have had mixed success with RPGs on this channel, so you have to bear with me, but it's a new large title RPG in the same genre of RPG as Tyranny, which I really enjoyed. So kind of hoping this is going to be a fun one. So let's check it out together. See what happens. For some reason they want me putting hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored in the title of this. I don't know why. This isn't sponsored. I have a pre-release copy and no obligations with that pre-release copy whatsoever. I haven't signed any contracts or anything like that, but they want me to put that in the title, so alright, I guess we'll put that in the title for now. This is not sponsored content. Sponsored content, people pay me to promote a game, or at least to give my opinion about a game. This is normal kind of PR for any game ever, which is the publisher reaches out and gives me an advance copy, and in return I'm streaming something that's their game, and then they get the advertisement of hopefully a good game being broadcast by someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. Although, to be fair, I won't have any idea what the fuck I'm doing when we get into this. So anyways, let's get disclaimers aside. That can be there for later. So let's check it out. Game modifications, difficulty, relaxed, classic, veteran, path of the damned. Yes. Let's start on easy. Gameplay modifications, trial of iron, new, expert mode. Disables a number of helper features. I might be annoyed with that enough later to deal with that. We won't worry about it. Level scaling. Yes. I like that. Critical path only or all? All. Only scale upwards. Yes. Oh, can't tell if that's checked or not. Okay, it's a very slightly different color when it's checked. Alright? Hey, Fenderwolf. Yeah. You and me and your best friend. I agree. I don't understand quite why they want that in there. I will do it for today because, you know, I do appreciate the pre-release copy in the same way that hypothetically they appreciate me promoting their game. So, yeah, we'll leave it for now. But alright, these settings. Cool. I like an RPG game with some challenging combat. And now for stuff. It's not the dev or Twitch, it's the PR, the publisher.
A world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls.
Like all children.
Many believed was punishment for killing a god.
Also like all children.
In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls.
And read your palm.
The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, You also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Not me, I didn't. Not a chance. Terror and bloodshed. The Stalin of Dryerwood. Alright, we'll mess with the volume when we can.
You fixing up that old keep? Lifting the curse? Must have told
Yeah,
her
Kex can it
100
for now.
times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. But maybe the gods weren't finished with us.
Uh-oh. Those are fingers.
I used to dream that when my god came back, he would forgive us.
God, they have PPCs. That's why they're not killing that god.
That's the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
And so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
Is it time to interact? No. Ah? Yes, it is. Okay. We can mess with volume settings now. The problem was the splash screen music was super fucking loud, and then the volume of the actual stuff is quite different. So we'll keep messing with that till we get the sound stuff right. So I guess what I need to do is move master volume up a bit. I'm gonna leave that like 80%. Get the music volume down to about 20%. 25% if you don't abuse it, game. Fine. Alright, let's see how that works. Sea shanties? That's an option I can enable or disable. Sea shanties will play while you're sailing. Yes. I love the things that some people put in games. They're like, you know what we should have right now? Sea shanties. And like the office is like, no, we fucking hate sea shanties. And they're like, well, we'll make it a toggle. For those of us who love it versus hate it. It's very polarizing, that. I like that a lot. I've never had a sea shanty option in my games before. Did you really ask how far along is Filthy into the game? Huh. Is this me? Uh-oh, we've been defeated. Oh, I can move, I see. I got it. This is a little person walking. Alright.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
Let's run them
A
over.
watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
Let's juke.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
Okay, that's kind of cool. All right, questions in chat. Hey, welcome. Good morning, guys. This is my very first look at this game. I have not played any of it before. I have not played Pillars of Eternity 1.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage.
I was one of the things when they reached out to me about this was they offered me a copy of the original game, but I just don't have time to play through an original RPG of that. I think I liked Tyranny, which is done by, it's a similar style of game of RPG with this, but I'm not familiar with the PoE 1, which I keep thinking Path of Exile in my head, but no, Pillars of Eternity. The Pillars of Eternity 1 storyline. So there we go. If you're here from PKA, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, man. We had a super fun time recording that, and welcome to the channel. Streaming some RPGs today. A new RPG that's on its way out. It's pre-release right now. Comes out, I believe, May the 8th. So coming up real soon. And anyways, keep checking it out. Nope, I've never played the first one. So there you go.
You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Alright, let's do... Still mess just a little bit with that. Alright. I thought they'd give us a brief little intro. Why is the dwarf following me? He doesn't look like a dwarf either. He's kind of tall for a dwarf.
Sit. Please. Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in.
Also, 2 huge thumbs up for dialogue being read to us. Makes it so much better to stream it.
A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She is preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
Also, just the flesh wound. Chat's trying to be helpful here and telling me about the plot of PoE 2, and they just summarized the plot of the original game with what they've already summarized here in the beginning of this game. So I don't need to know anything about the game. You've already just told me what they've already told me here. We got it. I watched the intro. Alright, so I assume this is character creation, which is a cool way to do it. So you're a dead spirit about to be reincarnated and rearrange your life as you remember it. Sounds great. Benevolent Soul. Can I read it without clicking it? Return the lost Hollowborn souls to the Direwood's children as you pledged to no. They're in balance, no. Survival of the fittest. Use the souls to strengthen them. Many other choices were made to strengthen you and your allies while punishing and weakening your enemies. That sounds close. The Dark Times. You consigned the souls of the Hollowborn to oblivion. You left the wake of physical destruction and spiritual annihilation wherever you went, seeking to bring a final end to all things. Okay. Keeper of Secrets. You pledged to consign the souls of Hollowborn to oblivion, but you ultimately gave the souls to Wodika. You supported maintaining the god's secrets as well as your own. I get to see who this guy is? Wodika? I like Wodika. You did everything wrong. You pledged at the bidding of every god and scattered the souls of the Hollowborn to a random location. You got every companion killed. You got the worst outcome for every quest. If there was a mistake you could have made while resolving the Hollowborn crisis, you made it. Alright, let's go with survival of the fittest. That seems to be kind of my playstyle in general, so that's fine. Let's use selected history.
Does everything appear to be in order? Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bareth. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
I'm gonna not remember that, I think.
She places a card on the table, showing a tall tower. The gods' constellations are arrayed around it in the sky. You remember now. The Hall of Stars in Twin Elms, where you spoke with the gods.
You came to that tower seeking our aid. You chose to pledge your services to other gods. Still, a pledge unmade stands fairer in this court than a pledge broken.
She places a card in the middle of the arrangement. A bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothus. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Aothus stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him. No, but neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a Hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
I'd like to find as much as you. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people. I've had enough of dealing with the gods, all of you. Why should I care about any of this? This is like the child in math class going, when will I ever use this? I mean, we're sitting here. Imagine this in character, alright? Imagine this just from like an RP perspective for a second. Here you are. You're this accomplished hero with all this shit going on. Your memory's fragmented. All the stuff you do remember. It's this epic fights with gods and whatnot. And you're here literally about to be resurrected. And you're like, nah, I've had enough. Why should I care about any of this? You'd be the biggest fucking asshole. Alright. Let's get on with it, or I'd like to find him as much. I think let's get on with it.
Good.
Our modest fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
Thanks, Gemmin Man. Welcome to the channel.
Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
It fills you with determination.
Thanks, Nogster. Welcome to the channel as well. Cheers to the subs, guys. And yeah, now that you guys pointed out, I can definitely hear, what's Ashley's last name from Critical Role? It's Johnson? Ashley Johnson, I think? I can't remember, but I can definitely hear her narrating this now that you guys pointed it out. I think they did something a little bit with her voice to distort it slightly, so I didn't immediately pick up on it, but anyways.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
I like this, by the way, as a character creation intro. I like it a lot. I think this is a very interactive and kind of neat way to do that. What do we look like? Daenerys? Or this chump? I generally play my own gender in games. Can I change race? Doesn't look like I can. Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. I can change race. Humans. They get might. Oh god. Okay, so I do need to... I don't know anything about PoE's stat system. So this might be a bit of a shot in the dark to begin with. Might contributes to damage, healing effectiveness, and the fortitude defense. It represents a character's physical and spiritual strength, brute force, as well as their ability to channel powerful magic. 5 is weak, 10 is average, 15 is strong, and 20 is fantastically powerful. This is a +1, but I don't... Oh, there's my attributes there. So I'd be at about an 11 with that. Does this include this attribute? Yes. Okay, so humans get might and resolve. What does resolve do? Contributes towards reducing hostile effect durations as well as improving will and deflection defenses. It reflects a character's internal drive, determination, and fearlessness. I don't know what an Orlan is. It's like a mouse. Orlans are the smallest of the Kith races. What's a Kith race? Dominant civilized races of Eora, including human. Okay. Now, many cultures don't consider them to be civilized. Also notable for their large ears, two-tone skin, and hirsute bodies. Orlans are commonly found in blah blah blah. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. -1 might, and might again was damage, right? I don't know about minus damage. Oh, why doesn't this mouse over work? Damage, healing, effectiveness, and fortitude defense. All right, they have perception, accuracy, and the reflex defense. Perception represents a character's senses as well as their instinctive ability to pick up objects, detecting traps and hidden objects, and resolve. We already have. So they're also resolve. So we give up might for more perception. Godlike. Oh man. Godlike don't have the most attractive faces. Alright. The godlike are children of the Kith who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods. These aspects may take many forms, often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical. The cone heads of this world. And godlike are unable to wear protective headgears. It's nearly impossible to find anything that fits. What? That doesn't make any sense. If your head always looks this way, you build something. Anyways, alright, whatever. You could totally have protective headgear with that. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. We've got dex, action speed. I like action speed. The idea of action speed sounds good. And dexterity is generally the god stat anyways. And intellect. Also will defense. Durations and areas effect for all abilities. Okay. Elf. The most effeminate of the male races. Alright. Elves are the dominant race. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as commonly isolationist nature. Dex and perception. Dwarves. Okay. Might and con at the cost of dexterity. And these gentlemen. I gotta hear them say this. Amua. I don't know how to say these. Double might. Okay, so the difference here is only basically one stat point to two different things, potentially. I generally like melee classes, although casters tend to be better in these games. I generally like... Let's run might. Let's run might and see what happens. Alright, might it is. Okay. Oh, I have subsets? Oh god. I gotta check subsets now. Alright, I'll try not to get too bogged down with this. Let's just take a look. Resistance to Constitution. Burn and freeze damage. Resistance to those. Resistance towards dexterity afflictions. Extra damage to things that are at low health. Gain increased power level when they're near death. It's an interesting ability. Additional armor rating. when they are bloodied or near death. I think these are status. Characters between 50% and 25% health is considered bloody. This is kind of a cool ability. Causing burn damage to anyone hits them and attackers. Natural resistance to burn. Oh, nice. Well, this might be more useful when I know more. I can get stuck on character screens for hours if I'm not careful. Automatically generate a wave of healing around themselves when they take damage. When you buff them, they get better. And their heads all are very differently shaped. Can we get like custom armor though? Alright, let's take a look at the human variants. So humans get bonus accuracy and damage, excuse me, when they are in any of the half or below. That seems like a pretty fucking great bonus for a game if we do any fighting. And what do these ones have? I don't know what the types of afflictions are. And they look like they have pack tactics there. Okay. What do these ones do? Rough terrain doesn't slow them down, and resistance to might afflictions. Okay, I got less interested with these guys. The two might sounded good to me to begin with, but I'm not quite as interested in them when I look at their sub races. Wait. Dwarves are giving up dex. I like the human bonuses. Let's take a look at the human bonuses. Might and resolve. Okay, that got me some of what I want, sure. I hate playing human races because humans are generally boring. But let's check one of these. I like this bonus to accuracy and damage, especially if I'm going to be on the front line at all. What are my options? Meadow, ocean, or savannah folk? And they're all exactly the same. Just different locations. That's pretty cool. I might take those. And then the godlike ones were cool too. This one sounds particularly interesting to me. When a nature godlike is under the effects of any might, constitution, or dex inspiration. In other words, whenever we buff him, they benefit from increased power level. But I don't want to start with the caster. So let's go for the human. And I know this is... Okay, let me just give some disclaimers real quick here. I know for a fact that anytime you start an RPG, no matter how good you are at RPGs in general, you will fuck up your character builds if you don't know exactly how the system works. That's inevitable. You will always want to restart RPGs within a pretty quick time period once you figure out how the game works. So be it. All right, let's grab Savannah Folk. If you're min-maxing, that is. Would you like to make a single class or multi-class character? Okay, I'm just gonna go with single class for now. If I get real into the game, we'll multi-class and min-max all of our builds and have a lot of fun for that. Okay, now we have classes. So that was races. We have 3, 6, 9, 11 classes. God, I love RPGs. There's some upfront work in learning the system. So, fucking up is part of the fun. Thank God for respecs. There's respecs in the game. That's such a good design decision. Design decisions that allow respecs are fucking incredibly good for player experience, because it is sometimes frustrating. I burn out in RPGs restarting them sometimes because I'm like, oh man, now I know how this character works and now I understand the types of fights I'm gonna be having. I'd really like to do something differently, and by that time I've played the game 3 times or something. So that's pretty fucking cool. I've been real pleased with these early design decisions. All right, let's take a look. So barbarians run on rage. They get a bunch of skills. Are these just like D&D skills? Because all of these skills are in D&D. Literally history, stealth, athletics, survival, and intimidate. That's kind of nice. Is this system a real similar to like D&D system? Bluff's not in it. Okay. Diplomacy is like an older version of D&D. Okay, Chanter. Sounds like a caster. Cipher. I don't know what a cipher is. A rogue of some sort? Oh, no, caster of some sort. Caster/rogue. Mind hunters. Manipulate another person's soul and psyche. Sounds fun. Druid. Druids. Yeah, whatever. Fighters have discipline. Frontliner. I like the idea of our main our main dude being a frontliner. Focus on endurance and melee defense. Survival, intimidate. What's survival do? Yeah, look, it's literally a survival. It's like D&D survival. It can be used in conversations, scripted interactions, involve wilderness challengers, specialized information about nature. Okay. Intimidate, yep. Streetwise. Athletics and explosives. Alright. Monk. Resource wounds. Religion, insight, metaphysics, athletics, and alchemy. A paladin. Can be found in any culture where a fanatical group of like-minded individuals have formed a warrior society dedicated to advancing their cause. Are we role-playing ISIS? Among these aligned in their worldview, paladins are viewed with respect and admiration. Diplomacy, arcana, athletics, intimidate, religion, priest, rangers. I fucking hate pet classes. Maybe pet classes can be done fun in this game, and maybe I'll try one out later, but starting as a pet class seems like a... Although, I was gonna say starting with a pet class sounds like something that would immediately have me restart the game, but that might be a good thing. If we get a little bit into the game and I want to re-roll. Okay. Oh, am I going too slow for you guys? Well, I'm not going to pick up the pace. I do want to read through these, but I will make some decisions soon. Alright, Striker. Rogues are vicious killers, feared for the brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in dark back alleys in the heart of battlefield skirmishes. The heart of battlefield skirmishes. Though unpredictable and undisciplined rogues are commonly used as shock troops. No, they aren't. Rogues don't have any armor. Oh, man. Rogues tend to come... Okay. Fine. Sure. We'll send to the rogues as shock troops. Yes, assault that hill, rogues. Straight into the machine gun fire. All right. Fighter sounds cool to me. This is the type of character I generally like to start with. A melee-oriented fighter character. Barbarian could be okay. Fighter could be okay. I could play monk. We could do one of those three. I'd play Paladin too, potentially. Although I would be cynical about every fucking class interaction I ever had to do, besides the mechanics. So, I don't know which of those. Brutes, Madmen, and Berserkers. Are there subclasses ahead of time? Oh my god, there's subclasses. Alright, so our options just went from 11 to 33. Nope, more than that. Some of them have more than 3 subclasses. So minimum of 33. Maximum that was what, 5? 55? Yes, yes. Oh man. If they're, oh god, that's so fun. Okay, we can't get into all 55 right now. So let's just check the subclasses of the ones we're interested in. So barbarians, fighters, and monks, and paladins. So it's 4 classes and the subclasses that we're interested in. You guys understand? Let's hope that I like this game, because you guys have no idea how much I've been looking forward to a good RPG. Okay, giving themselves over entirely to their rage, berserkers lose themselves in frenzy. They become oblivious to their own well-being. Yeah, I understand what berserker does. Frenzy gains tenacious, 5 might and 2 in penetration. The hardy, constitution inspiration, plus 5 con and 2 armor rating instead of strong and fit. Okay, so it is basically improved versions of these inspirations. They gain hit and crit conversion on melee and carnage attacks while frenzied. They confused. They cannot see health. What? I can't see health while frenzied? Yeah, I don't have to tell about that in a minute. Okay. Corpse Eater. Often loathed by their enemies, probably loathed by everybody. Corpse Eaters consume the flesh of fallen foes to gain their power. No mere cannibals, the Corpse Eater must conduct their rites in the heat of battle. Outside of their communities, Corpse Eaters are often misunderstood as desecrators of the dead. In the minds of Corpse Eaters, consuming the flesh of an opponent honors them in their sacrifice. Bonus, gains flesh communion. Target a hostile deceased kith, a wilder or beast to devour their corpse, healing the barbarian and granting them rage. All rage abilities are increased in cost by 1. So we get to use our abilities more often. That's interesting. I could preview the ability tree. That's going to be helpful at another playthrough. This is information overload right now. Let's back out. Can I back out without killing it? Okay. Mage Slayer. Mage Slayers are typically from isolated communities of little exposure to academics of any sort and have a general distrust for magical arts. The exposure they do have is usually hostile. Mage Slayers are trained to deal with them in the most efficient ways possible, swearing off the use of many magical devices. Mage Slayers endear themselves to magical effects, better fight spellcasters. Successful melee attacks add spell disruption to the target, causing wizard, priest, druid, cipher, or chanter spells to have a chance to fail when cast. Gain passive spell resistance penalties. Cannot use potions or scrolls. Passive spell resistance affect friendly and hostile spells. Okay, it's probably a little bit specialized for me. All right. So subclasses, and I can do a no subclass. So just out of curiosity. God, this looks great. This is exactly what I would love right now. An in-depth skill. Okay, anyways. Let's go look at the fighter and the monk and the paladin, and then we'll just pick one. It's semi-blindly still, but at least I'm getting some sense of what we're doing. All right, let's take a look at the subclasses for fighters. Black Jacket. Fighters of the Black Jacket Academies pride themselves on their appearance. Oh no, on being skilled with a wide variety of weapons. Though the original school was founded in the Drywood, Drywood? I don't know they said it in the intro, but I've already forgotten. I'd read that as Direwood, but I think they read it some weird way. Many sister academies have sprung up, blah, blah, blah. They wear some stupid sign. Start with additional weapon set and weapon proficiency. Have reduced recovery time when switching weapons. Loses constant recovery. Well. Yeah, I don't know how excited I am about that. It's Deerwood. Thanks. The devoted are dedicated to the pursuit of a single weapon to the exclusion of all others. They're so attuned. No, I don't want that because I don't know how rare or excellent weapons are going to be. Increase pen, increase crit damage. That will be fun in another playthrough when I'm like, you know, the best item in the game is a crossbow and now we have a devoted crossbow user. That's another time. Unbroken. Are glaciers among the battlefield. Slow moving, almost indestructible, and dangerous to circumvent. Often underestimated for their lack of mobility, the Unbroken have laid down low countless blah blah blah. +1 engagement. Oh god. Look at this tooltip. Engagement can be acquired from spells, abilities, talents, or by wearing a shield. Engagement occurs anytime a character attacks an enemy with a melee weapon at close range. As soon as the attacker gets close enough, he or she will engage. When a character is engaged, he or she will stop moving. When a character is first engaged, he or she will stop moving. The character is free to move around their engager, but moving away will provoke disengagement attack. If a character breaks engagement, there's a limited amount of time before the enemy may re-engage them. Some afflictions make it impossible for a character to engage an enemy. All might afflictions prevent the target from engaging anyone, as well as paralyzed, petrified, or prone effects. Each of these effects will automatically drop engagement and can be used to get out of trouble. Some creatures, especially large ones, may be able to engage more than one creature at a time. Increase penetration on disengagement attacks. Damaging attacks hit a target. Okay. So, typical sword and board fighter. I'm kind of excited by that. Sword and board fighter sounds like it'd be fun. This is promising, the Unbroken class, but I want to read the Monk and Paladin ones too. If you guys aren't enjoying this, I'm sorry. I hope you are though. This is an RPG. Half the fun of RPGs is taking a look at the characters and character development. Like, maybe 3/4 of the fun. Storyline can be good too, but not always. Alright, let's take a look at the subclasses for the Monk. The Hellwalker. Hellwalkers undergo a ceremonial death rite as part of their initiation. Surprise, you're dead! Experience allows them to start combat with extra wounds and draw physical strength from their wounds at the cost of increased vulnerability. Begin combat with more wounds. Hellwalker monks have gained might for each wound they have. Take more damage for each wound they have. I don't know, that sounds very smart on like the highest difficulty. It feels like, we'll see. Alright, the Nalpazka are an order of monks who meditate on the difference between the material world and the perceived world through the use of mind-altering substances. They're drunks. Originating in blah blah blah, the blah blah blah, respected in their homelands, but are often disregarded as fools when traveling abroad. Their extensive dabbling with the boundaries of reality can give others the impression they are addled or simply insane. All drug effects last longer. Generate wounds while receiving the bonus of drugs. Crash penalties from drugs cause the monk to be unable to receive healing. Degenerate wounds? Degenerate wounds while not benefiting from drugs. I don't know if I want to play the drug addict monk. That, by the way, is never... Like, monks are like... Normally, monks are all about, like, self-discipline. This is interesting that they have a drug addict monk class. That's very interesting. Shattered Pillar. Unlike other monastic orders, monks of the Shattered Pillar philosophy gain power from causing pain and harm. While not inherently sadistic, the order does attract many practitioners to delight in the suffering of others. Huh. Gain wounds by melee weapon damage inflicted. Cannot gain wounds from damage received. Requires threshold to gain wounds is increased. Max wound limit is decreased. So I assume the monks in this, just reading from like 2 seconds of reading this, looks like monks gain some sort of ability activation from taking damage. That's convenient on a tank. Looks like these guys don't gain activation from taking damage, but gain activations from doing damage. This sounds anti-roll for a tank. It sounds good. It sounds like you'd have a damage dealer with this and have some fun with it. But I don't think that's what we're looking for there. Right now, we're still looking at Sword and Board Fighter. Let's see the Paladin subclasses, though. Oh, we should read the resource. What's the Zeal? Also, we should read the Fighter resource again. What did this do? Doesn't tell me. Require and consume discipline. Okay, sure. Paladin, Zeal. Require and consume Zeal. Alright. The Bleak Walkers.
You have returned.
Welcome back, Barbolus. Ah, thanks, man. Cheers. Glad to hear that you enjoyed the PK this week. It's a lot of fun. All right. Dreaded for their mercilessness and cruelty, Paladins of the Bleak Walkers believe that extreme brutality in warfare brings conflict to a swift close. They're the tough love Paladins. To maintain their reputation for unrelenting savagery, the Bleak Walkers never give a shit. Oh no, never give quarter and never abandon the field, even if their employers command them to.
Fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
Their employers? Aren't they Paladins? Paladins aren't mercenaries. This is a different type of Paladin. I like it. Welcome, Nerd27. I think you're in the right channel, Nerd27. Thanks for the sub. All right. Bonus, gain Flames of Devotion. Flames of Devotion deals additional corrode damage, black flames, and applies the sickened affliction to targets. There are 8 types of damages. Of course there are. Slash, pierce, crush, burn, shock, corrode, freeze, and raw. Alright, so we do corrode damage. We give them sickened. Alright, neat. Darkozy Paladini? Yeah, sure. Okay, these fuckers. The oldest known paladin order in the world, the blah blah blahs, were founded as the guards of the blah 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 palace over 2,000 years ago. Since the shattering of blah blah blah, they have been transformed into protectors and ambassadors of blah blah blah. Alright, I'm not reading any more of that. They're renowned for their wit and love of life. They gain Lay on Hands. Lay on Hands grants a minor flame shield on the target. Sounds fucking terrible. The most boring of Paladin classes. Alright. The Gold Pack Knights. Mercenaries. What? Why are... Alright, sure. Mercenaries. Paladins are mercenaries in this game. Got it. Mercenaries with a solemn reverence for the sanctity of contracts. Gold Pack Knights fulfill their obligations with unemotional, unswerving commitment and without moral judgment. They gain Sworn Enemy. Sworn Enemy gains the upgrade Gilded Enmity, which causes the Paladins to be imbued with a blessing of gold when they declare a sworn enemy. The Paladin receives an armor rating until struck enough times for the gold to break. What? Alright. King Wayfarers. Charitable order of knight errants who assist troubled travelers and celebrate kindness, condemning blah, 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 blah. Fucking Paladins. Alright. Alright, so we do have another, this is another shield-based class. Emphasize honesty and diplomacy over honesty and diplomacy. Gains Lay on Hands, prevents the target from being killed for a short time while equipped with shield +1 engagement. How is that different than the fighter one? Alright, we're going Unbroken Fighter. That was the most interesting sounding to me. I want to try, the other ones sound cool, but I want to get a sense of the game mechanics before I try archetypes that aren't real familiar with me. So we're going to do with that. Okay. No, I can't. I don't want to preview the tree ability. There's too many things in the tree ability to preview for 55 classes. We kind of talked about why I'm not going to do that right now. I can spend hours on screens like these. So let's start. Let's get into the game, because all of you probably don't have the same patience I do for reading through menus, which surprisingly is much larger in RPGs than any other game ever. All right, knockdown shows. Do I get to choose one of these, or both of them? Something just happened there. Abilities 0. Abilities 1. Abilities 0. Abilities 1. Wait. Are these just what I get from clicking this one? Knockdown, discipline, barrage. Knockdown, discipline, barrage. Knockdown, discipline, barrage. I don't know if I'm supposed to... I can't go next yet. Okay, so I have to select one of these. Okay. So, knockdown. Shoves an enemy with enormous force, knocking them prone and causing damage. Right-click for details. Melee, accuracy 10. Interrupts on graze. Noises quiet. Effects, primary attack, accurate versus fortitude. Shoves... What's fortitude? Okay. Discipline barrage. Combat only, instant quiet effects. Self-aware for 15 seconds. Concentration for 15 seconds. Plus 5 perception. 50% of grazes converted to hits. Prevent a single interrupt effect from being applied to them afterwards. Concentration effect is removed. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, knockdown sounds like a tanky ability. Discipline barrage sounds like a damage ability. Let's do knockdown. All right. Points left. 15. 15? Jesus. All right. Does it scale up, or is it all 1 for 1 all the way up? 1 for 1 all the way up. Resolve contributes towards reducing hostile effect. Oh god. Okay, so we're learning. Keep learning. Okay. Starred. Highly recommended for a fighter. Recommended for a fighter. Dex is not really. So our fighters are strength-based? Oh, we don't have strength, though. We have might. Might's a much better term than strength. Strength has a bad reputation as a stat. Highly recommended. Resolve 11. So it tells me what it does on level up. That's good. Minus 3% hostile effect duration, plus 1 deflection, and plus 2 will. What's deflection? Direct melee and ranged attacks. Melee attacks off deflection. Okay, that's interesting. I assume we don't give a fuck about intellect. How far can I bring? I can bring it down to 3.
Quitters never win.
Huh. Wow. If you can bring it, that's so many points we can pull out of this. So if we can bring it down to 3, we can pull 7 out of all of those. If we can bring this down to 3, we can pull 8 out of that. And if we bring this down, why is that down already? I must have lowered that already. But that's hilarious. I mean, I can bring this all down to 3. That's 4. So that's 28 is 32 is another 8 on top of that is 40. So I have 59 points to distribute in any way I want. Holy shit, you can min-max that. Okay. That's exciting. Welcome back, Roth. Thank you for the resub. All right, I need a second to stretch my fingers. If you guys don't know, I have a finger injury that I am doing some physical therapy with. It'll only take a couple seconds, but I do need to do that. I can probably read as I'm doing that, but it fucks up my the stretch to move my fingers around while I'm doing it, like mousing with the mouse. Might contributes to damage, healing effects, and fortitude. Defense. Damage and healing. Minus 6 fortitude. What does fucking fortitude do? Fortitude resists attacks in internal physical systems of a character.
It fills you
Poison,
with determination.
disease. Okay. Thank you, Captain Cap Immortal. Thanks for the sub. All right. Let's look at con. Health and fortitude defense again. Is this pure HP? Is that what health is? Health represents a character's short-term survivability. Damage does not reduce by a character's armor rating, it goes straight to their health. Potions and healing magic, such as Paladin, Priest, or Druid, can restore health in combat. When a character's health reaches 0, he or she will be knocked out. Knocked out character can be brought back in combat for use to revive. Otherwise, characters regain all their health at the end of combat.
Determination.
Kubalubashu, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome to the channel. Alright, a couple more seconds on these finger stretches, and then we will go to pick our stats and move on. I'll just take their recommended here. I don't know enough about it to do otherwise. I'm not going to lower other stats. Well, I might lower perception or dex. We'll see in a minute. I'm not going to lower intellect, at least. As much as I was thinking it would be a dump stat. Seems to have things I care about. Status effect duration seems relevant to buffing, and I like buffing frontline, so. Alright. Plus accuracy. Dex, action speed, and reflex. What is reflex?
A gleaming endowment.
Pyrrhic Bro. Thank you very much for the $40 donation. Cheers for knocking that daily gold out. Much appreciated. And he says, nice game. Can't tell if trolling or not with that statement. I assume by the donation you're excited for it, but I could see people getting frustrated with me taking my time on this, but I want to read through these a little bit. All right, so Con, Might, and Resolve. Resolve sounds interesting to me. I want to pump that up a little bit. I'm going to roughly assign these. So if I look at this, I could do like, we could put these, this could have 25% and these could have 75% split in half maybe. So let's say 5. Why is Might lower? A fuck ton of fortitude. We have plus 20 fortitude. Is Con a good stat? Con tends to be a pretty poor stat, even for tanks. Depends how much healing there is in the game. It depends how the fight system works. It's kind of tough ahead of time because Constitution is something that you only need more than 1 health. That's it. You never need more than 1 health, ever. I don't know. Well, I reset it. I lowered it to 10 and it didn't reset when I moved back and forth. So this is, no, let's see. Okay, so it doesn't, can I reset the stats? I see. So I might want to prioritize mine a little bit higher. Let's grab that, run that up. Should I just make them even? I wish I knew more. Okay. I like the deflection idea. Does it tell me what happens if I get more of this? 1 deflection per. Deflection's hit. Okay. Con isn't that good. Chat's telling me Con's not that good. What's base then? 10 is an average character. So it's on the highest difficulty, guys. Con might want to be relevant. I'm not putting any points in perception until I know what it does later. Go with the intelligent fighter archetyped. No, let's not. Let's grab 3 more in here. How's that? Got a lot of fortitude. What if I max that? Oh, it maxed at 19. Sure. We don't know. As I said, you're always going to recreate characters in an RPG when you're just starting the game. There's no other way around it. Because you don't know what enough of this stuff does and it's too in-depth to deal with. Where am I from? Does this matter? Get resolve, dexterity, resolve, intellect, constitution, might, or perception. Well, based on that, we prioritize resolve. Alright, what was my job? Fluffer's not on, what? Insight. What do these do? Arcana, history, philosopher. What was my job? I'm a fucking fighter. That is my job. Done. Available weapon types. My goodness. Okay, where are we? We're at weapon proficiency, so we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6 for doing this. I can pick 2. Firearms, magical implements, one-handed. We'll take one-handed. Oh, I have to pick one of these? Accuracy -8, deflection +12. +1 enemies engaged. +1 enemies engaged. +1 enemies engaged. Deflection 4. So I lose accuracy for better shields. Okay. No, fighter's my job. It's totally my fucking job. It's on my, it's like probably tattooed on his arm. I'm a fighter. Because fighters aren't real bright. They sometimes forget. What am I looking at here? Penetration 8. Penetration 6. What do I gain for that penetration difference? Damage boost. This is the types of damage. Chance to hit. Accuracy versus deflection. Attack time 0.7. Recovery time. So it's just a damage difference with the Warhammer versus a penetration. Alright, stiletto. More penetration. Oh, won't let me have more than 3 open at once. Let's check the spear. Additional effects, 5 accuracy. That's tempting if we're gonna run a shield. A spear for accuracy sounds like a good thing. Accuracy on the rapier. How do a rapier and a spear interact? How are they different? Oh, I can't move? Yes, I can. 10 to 14, 7. They have the same penetration. Attack time. Is the spear just worse in every way here? 10 to 14 is 24, average damage is 12. 13 to 19 is 32, average damage is 16. So this is lower damage on the rapier, but attack time is different. Oh, come on. Okay, well, I like their interface so far, but I don't like this. There should be a DPS thing here. I shouldn't ever have to do mental math when I'm looking at a set of weapons and trying to compare them. It should always just be a DPS thing in here. There's no reason not to. This has 3 different stats. It has attack time, recovery time, and a damage time. And I don't know how those interact yet. And even if I do understand when they interact, if it's just like attack time and damage, for example, I still gotta do fucking mental math for that. Feels not good, man. Feels not good. All right, let's keep looking for the other stuff. It's a saber, rapier, the mace. Does a different type of damage. I want an accuracy boost, so I'm running a shield. I like to hit things. Deflection against melee weapons. So this boost, that's interesting too. Alright. Okay. Alright. So we're looking at hatchet, spear, and rapier right now. Yeah. The flail. Club. Club has accuracy too. Okay. Of course we had to go one-handed where there's fucking 12 picks. I'll enjoy 12 options later, but at the moment it makes me feel sad. Battle axe is crit. We're not worried about the damage right now. And the dagger has accuracy as well. Okay. I'm gonna just do a quick DPR or DPS comparison just to see if it actually is the same or not. Okay, so 10 plus 14 is 24 divided by 2 is 12. It has attack time 0.5 seconds. Does that mean I'm doing 2 per second or 1 per second or 1 every? This is a recovery time. Let's call it a recovery time. So we get 2 of those per second. So that's gonna be 24 damage per second. And recovery time. Oh, that's the time it takes to make the attack, and this is how many we get in between. So the entire round is 3.5 seconds. That might be that. So let's call that 12 divided by 3.5. So it's doing fuck all for damage. Is the other one exactly the same though? I don't even care what the damage is. I want to know if it's the same. So the other one then is 13 plus 19 divided by 2 and then divided by 4.7. 3.4 compared to 3.42. It's nearly identical. So these are nearly identical. All right. So it was dagger, spear. We had 5 listed. Dagger, spear, hatchet, club, rapier. Where's the club? That's the same accuracy. I'm just gonna assume that they're all the same. These are all the same penetration. So the only one that's any different, so probably the rapier, the dagger, the spear, and the club are all fairly similar, except the one does crushing damage, is the hatchet. The hatchet's the odd man out here. Because we trade accuracy for deflection. I think that sounds awesome for min-maxing a tank. I'm just going to go with club for now. Oh god, they have additional things. Fuck. Alright. There's no... Okay, let's read some of this. Proficiency in a weapon or a shield grants access to a modal ability for use with the associated item type. Those abilities are... Modal abilities one that can be turned on or off for a set of different modes. Character who is not proficient in weapon only loses access to associated mode of strikes. Interfering strikes. Hook and slash wildly with your attacks, interfering with your abilities to focus their aim at the cost of damage. Bewildering blows. Aims to concuss the target by striking them ahead to lower their will defense. That's less interesting to me now that I've read the modal ability. Let's take a look at the other ones. Needle strike, carefully strike with the rapier, aiming for vital points to ensure success. Fighting this way increases accuracy at the cost of recovery. Probably not something... We're going to be wearing heavy armor on this character. We probably don't want to increase recovery. So, at the moment, hatchet's looking pretty good. Let's check spear. Fight defensively with your spear, allowing you to engage an additional foe at the cost of stride. That sounds close to what we want to do. And then, what was the 5th one? There were 5 we were looking at. It was hatchet, spear, rapier, club, dagger. What's the dagger do? We want to focus on deflecting incoming attacks, trading damage for deflection against melee weapons. So, okay. So, one of these interfering strikes or daggers both seem like they do right up our alley. But the idea of engaging more people sounds promising to me too. I think we're going to bring that up to 3 engaged people. Let's grab the spear, check it out. Okay, we're taking spear. Do we want to go largest shield? What's large shield bonus? -5 accuracy for 12 deflection. Medium shield is 8 and 5. Let's go medium shield. So we're about neutral accuracy. Sure. Okay. Why can't I move forward? I get 2 of these fucking things, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah, this one I don't give a fuck about. Do we want to have a helmet? Helmets are good. Helmets protect your head. Always wear headgear. I mean, it's cool. There's a lot of portraits. Sure. I like that it's portraits. That's nice. Colors. Does it make any difference at all? Nope. All right. Oh, it's over here somewhere. I give no fuck what color he's wearing. I do care about the voice. The voice can be annoying.
Quick and quiet.
Let's go.
Quietly now. I'm here.
Let us stand together.
Shh. I'm flattered.
No, do it again.
Finish them.
You imagine the voice acting for that? All right, now just randomly yell.
Bring them down. Show them how it's done. Let's go. Take them down. You'd better run.
After him.
Let's go. Kill them all. Charge. Yeah.
Let us...
On. Take them down. Kill them all. Let's go. I'll teach you a lesson.
No prisoners. They won't see me coming. Well, now I am leader of the group.
Charge! The better, yes?
Finish them.
Twist.
Oh?
Stand together.
Can I change this later?
You're mine!
All right. Pose. Oh, literally how he holds himself? Yeah, like we're ready for a chest bump at any time. That's important. Sassy? Solid. It should change his face paint. Alright. You know what? Normally, I feel like this should be me, like, being like, this is FilthyRobot. Fuck no. This is Twitch chat. Okay. Alright. First level fighter. Unbroken, discipline, savannah folk, mercenary, stats, stuff. Sure. Alright, not bad, chat. Hour and 9
Go
minutes.
forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you.